This episode is brought to you by 365 Connect, the world's most advanced automated marketing and leasing platform built to keep your communities running 24/7, totally hands-free. Be sure to check out UnitRev, their AI-powered platform that creates and posts real-time content across search and social using live property data. It's redefining how communities attract and convert renters. It's a total game changer. I've seen it in action, and it's impressive. Visit 365connect.com today and tell them Mike sent you for a 30-day free trial. Welcome to another episode of the Multifamily Collective. I wanted to do an extended version of a short clip that I put out just a few minutes ago, actually a couple hours ago, about centralization and automation. And actually was watching something, I think I came through my LinkedIn feed, and it talked about the person doing the presentation was suggesting that you need to do automation and centralization at the same time. Centralization doesn't work. It doesn't work as well without automation, and automation doesn't work as well without centralization. So this new business model really highlights, pours gasoline on the fire of automation, and it gives you the ability to really make meaningful impact in your business, especially on the cost saving side, because you kind of tie this back to efficiencies and getting things done in the organization in a more efficient fashion. The interesting dynamic that I think is shaping up longer term is the idea of centralization as a business model, which many are promoting as sort of this wave, this sort of modern day wave of organizational design that is now fitting into the multifamily space and bringing efficiencies in and more effective ways of doing business. I think that model is not going to matter in the future, not too distant future. And I think it's interesting because centralization is around, it's been around for like 15 years, 20 years, maybe close to 20 years now. I remember working in a giant REIT, and there was this move to centralize the assistant manager's positions. Back then, it was a different version of centralization, but I think today it's just advanced forward, and technology has been put against the centralization. So it's been adopted more mainstream simply because it's more fashionable, it's been socialized better, and there's technology that meets up, that makes it possible or puts it on steroids. So that being said, back in the day when the big REIT was actually centralizing, there was this effort to, prior to that, there's an effort to really empower the people on the front lines to make decisions quickly and swiftly so the consumer would have this great experience, right? And to the extent that you start to centralize things, you're taking that decision-making capability off the team member, and you're placing it into the hands of a centralized team and or an automated team. I think voice AI makes this a better experience in the sense that you can still enable people and empower people at the site level to make decisions, but you take some of the decision-making ability off of them. But I think in the future, not too distant future, it doesn't matter. The decision-making in a centralized model, it's not, in my head, it's not a thing anymore, because the thing making the decision in a digital space, agent to agent, doesn't care about centralization. The consumer won't even care about centralization because the consumer won't be doing the commerce. The agent of the organization and the agent as a proxy to the consumer will be doing the transactions, data gathering, research, negotiation, and transaction in the cloud. And it doesn't care if you're centralized. It doesn't care if you're decentralized. It doesn't care. It just doesn't care. It's not a thing that it would care about. So I think this push, this idea that you've got to force a centralized model into your organization and put automation against that. And if you don't, you're going to get swallowed up by what's happening out in the marketplace as it relates to AI. I, for one, think that is not true. It's not accurate, or it's potentially a bit short-sighted as it relates to the not too distant future. Like, I'm talking calendar year 2026, where a lot of this centralized decision-making is going to be decentralized in a sense, because it doesn't have to be part of a business model or a structure like centralization. Even think about it on the service side of the business. The triaging of search requests, putting them in the hands of people who are specialized in that particular craft or that particular skill set, and calculating for windshield time and all those sorts of things, triaging and putting labor out into the marketplace to actually address. It doesn't matter if that's central. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be done in a centralized fashion. It's going to be done in a cloud, in a technology fashion. And I just don't think you have to. Those of you in the property management world that feel like you're behind in not centralizing your efforts, don't feel behind. And don't feel like it's necessary to centralize your efforts. Just leapfrog the idea that you need to centralize, leapfrog to a place of automation and plan for and architect for agent to agent commerce, agent to agent transactions, proxy on behalf of the consumer, and the agent in the enterprise. That's where real business will happen. And I mean, you could argue that a human is in the loop, governing in some respects, making sure the guardrails are there, the governance, and those sorts of things. But the architecture of centralization is not going to matter. I don't think that's going to matter. At least that's this guy's opinion. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.